Understanding Suffering. Key Buddhist Teachings. Imagine sitting at the end of a long, exhausting day, weighed down by worries, unmet expectations, and the nagging feeling of not being enough. You ask yourself, why does life have to be so hard? Why do I constantly feel this unease? These questions have troubled humanity for thousands of years. Buddhism, a teaching over 2,500 years old, offers a clear answer. Suffering is part of life, but there is a way to overcome it. In this audiobook, we delve into the wisdom of Buddhist teachings. We will explore what suffering really is, where it comes from, and how we can let it go to find peace and fulfillment. Stay with us to uncover timeless principles that could transform your life. The Four Noble Truths. In Buddhism, suffering is referred to as dukkha. But what does that actually mean? It's not just about pain or sadness. Dukkha describes a fundamental discomfort or dissatisfaction that we all experience in life. Dukkha manifests in many forms, from physical pain to unfulfilled desires and the fear of impermanence. Buddha explained that everything we experience is ultimately transient, and it is this impermanence that creates suffering. Buddha summarized the concept of suffering in the Four Noble Truths. Suffering exists. It is an inevitable part of life. The cause of suffering, clinging to things, people, or ideas, is the root of suffering. The cessation of suffering. It is possible to free ourselves from suffering. The path to end suffering. The Eightfold Path guides us in overcoming suffering. The question of why we suffer was deeply explored by Buddha. His answer brings us deeper into the second of the Noble Truths. The cause of suffering lies in our clinging and ignorance. Broadly, this can be categorized into three areas. Desire, tanha. Our insatiable craving for more, whether it's possessions, recognition, or love, leads to disappointment and pain when we fail to attain these things, or when we lose them. Aversion. We try to avoid unpleasant experiences instead of accepting them. However, life inevitably brings challenges, and avoidance often amplifies our suffering. Ignorance. We fail to recognize that everything in life is impermanent. This ignorance traps us in a cycle of craving and aversion. Buddha teaches that we don't have to remain trapped in suffering forever. Through understanding and letting go, we can find a way out. The key to this lies in the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path, the way to liberation from suffering. After understanding the causes of suffering, Buddha offers us a clear path out of the cycle of suffering through the fourth noble truth, the Eightfold Path. This path is not a rigid set of rules, but a guide to help us lead a fulfilling and peaceful life. The Eightfold Path. One right view, seeing the world and our lives clearly, understanding the Four Noble Truths. Two right intention, cultivating thoughts of kindness, compassion, and detachment instead of being guided by hatred or greed. Three right speech, speaking truthfully, respectfully, and mindfully to foster harmony. 4. Right action, acting morally by avoiding harm to others and oneself. 5. Right livelihood, choosing work that does not harm others or the environment. 6. Right effort, striving to foster positive states and overcome harmful ones. 7. Right mindfulness, living consciously in the present moment, aware of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. 8. Right concentration. Practicing meditation and mental focus to achieve inner peace and insight. A practical example. Imagine yourself in a conflict. With right view and intention, you recognize that anger solves nothing. Right speech and action guide you to find a resolution without causing further harm. Through mindfulness and concentration, you maintain calmness and clarity. The Eightfold Path is more than just a philosophy. It's a practical tool that we can integrate into our daily lives. But how can we truly apply these principles? Letting go and acceptance. Understanding the Eightfold Path is the first step, but its true power lies in its application. Integrating all these principles into daily life may seem overwhelming at first, but small steps can make a significant difference. Start with mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to breathe consciously and observe your thoughts. For instance, during breakfast, focus solely on the act of eating, free from distractions like your phone or other interruptions. Another approach is to check your intentions before undertaking important actions. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I driven by greed, anger, or compassion? For example, if you need to write a difficult email, pause for a moment and pay attention to the tone of your words. Communicate intentionally and respectfully. Practice using honest and kind language. Instead of criticizing someone, consider how you can provide constructive feedback. Meditation can help you gain more clarity and inner focus. Set a realistic goal, such as meditating for 10 minutes a day. Guided meditations are particularly helpful for beginners to ease into the practice. At the end of the day, you can complete the circle by reflecting, was I mindful today? Did I act with good intentions? Were there moments when I could have been more mindful or kind? This simple evening routine allows you to integrate the path into your life, step by step. Even small progress on this journey can bring noticeable changes. But why is it worth walking this path? What benefits does the practice offer? These are the questions we'll explore in the next section. Benefits of Buddhist teachings. The Eightfold Path is not just a philosophical concept, but a practical guide that can enrich life in many ways. One of the greatest benefits is inner peace. By living mindfully and letting go of negative emotions such as greed or anger, we create space for calmness and contentment. Another advantage is the improvement of relationships. When we consciously act with compassion and strive to communicate honestly and respectfully, we enhance our interactions. Imagine how much more peaceful a conversation could be if we put ourselves in the other person's shoes before reacting. Additionally, the path strengthens our understanding of life's interconnectedness. We realize that much of our suffering stems from unhealthy patterns of behavior and find ways to break free from them. This makes us not only more resilient, but also happier. In the long run, implementing these principles leads to a life not dictated by external circumstances, but rooted in inner clarity and stability. Even during challenging times, we can draw strength from these teachings and focus on what truly matters. Life is full of challenges and suffering, but how we respond to them is within our control. Buddhist teachings, especially the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, provide timeless guidance for finding inner peace and leading a more mindful and fulfilling life. As Buddha said, suffering arises from attachment. Peace begins with letting go. This quote reminds us that true happiness often doesn't stem from external circumstances, but from our inner attitude. Now, I'd like to ask you, how do you deal with challenges and difficult moments in life? Do you have methods that help you let go and remain calm? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm eager to hear your perspectives. In our next audiobook, we'll explore another powerful idea, Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophy of self-overcoming. Together we'll uncover how this concept can drive us forward and make life more meaningful. Until next time, stay virtuous and composed.